Hello there everyone and welcome to Napoleon Total War. So I'm here with a battle again against Kicking Butt. This is the homestead map. There's a slight rain. I'm playing as Prussia and he's playing as France. So let's go through according to the rules, no cannons and max 5 light infantry. Since I'm Prussia, I've decided to field 5 units of Prussian Fusiliers, which are excellent, and I'm hoping they are gonna do most of the killing for me, since they are so excellent at being light infantry. The fact that they have such a good fire rate and good accuracy, and also there's a good amount of people in the actual units. Then behind them we got musketeers, mostly to stand there to protect the Fusiliers from cavalry charges. And then I've got elite units, 2 foot guards, and then we got the 8th Life Regiment to help out with the musketeers if need be. 2 units of lancers, 2 units of cuirassiers. And I started in the center because I wasn't sure where he was going, if he was going to focus on one side or not. And right off the bat here we can see that he has almost split his armies up in the way that you can see that there's a few here up in front, and then there's the units that are sort of coming in now in support are too far away to really help. Plus the cavalry haven't started moving yet. They're still out there on the far edges. Actually, we might want to just check what he has. He has the same that he usually always picks. He usually always picks France. So we got Fusilier of the line, Young Guard. I believe he has 2 Young Guards. Oh yeah, 2 National Guard. Then we got 2 Old Guard over there. I think we've got 2 Young Guard. Yeah, there they are. I guess there's 2 Fusiliers. Yeah, okay. There's 3 Young Guard, 2 Fusiliers, 2 National Guard, 2 Old Guard, and then we got Voltigeurs, which I think is one of the weaker light infantry units in the game. They can deploy spikes, but spikes aren't that useful. Their accuracy and fire rate are not that good, the Voltigeurs. So it's not one unit that I like. With the extra DLC you get the 6th Regiment d'Infanterie, which is equal sort of to the Prussian Fusiliers. And for his cavalry he's got 2 Chasseurs Cheval and then 2 Lancers, and these are no special Lancers or anything like that. That's just the normal infantry, or the normal Lancer type units. And now we're coming to blow here. The Fusiliers, my Prussian Fusiliers, are able to fire pretty unhindered here, and we take out a lot of these Young Guards. You can see this unit is almost lost. It's lost more than 40 men, 60 men almost, 50 men at this point. He calls in a cavalry charge very early over here, which I'm able to, because you can hear the scream, I was able to move the guys away, I thought. It wasn't as devastating as if he maybe would have held it and actually clicked them to ride up and then charge. I think they actually might rout this unit. There's one of the Fusiliers that routes, but they come back. He's not able to break through here though, and he loses an equal amount of cavalry to Fusilier. So, well, it's actually, he loses more than my lose Fusiliers. So I wouldn't count that as a successful charge. There's a messing up here with the AI, but we're able to put down some fire here. on the Young Guard. Same while on this side, you can see we've now pelted the Young Guard here in the center, which hasn't been able to return a single shot, has been completely shot away. And we continue to pound the center here really hard with the Prussian Fusiliers. He cannot really just stand there and take it, but he's occupied with other stuff. This is the successful charge he makes here on my right, where he actually routs my Fusiliers. So that one was good. I was caught unprepared there. I'm not entirely sure what I was doing in this moment, but they're taken down. Actually slowed down a bit. I've started to move my cavalry, since I've seen him move some troops over here, and it's National Guard, Fusilier, Voltigeur. So I've moved Lancers, and I've put the other Lancer unit here. We moved up 2 of my sort of support infantry units, and then I'm planning now, since I weakened his front line so much and we've been able to shoot at them for quite a while, I sent both my heavy cuirassiers over here to sort of break from this flank, because there was nothing here to stop me attacking. And if he support, he has to go around this hill, and it's an awkward hill where the charge of his lancers will be sort of caught up by the fact that they have to ride up a hill. Normally it's not very good to charge into a forest, but at this point the French forces here are so depleted, and they've been shot at so many times that I thought it was something that could be done. Although since this forms square, there's no point in hanging around here trying to beat that down, even though I probably could. It's easier then to continue the charge and try to roll up as much of this as possible. So we can see here also on the map how it... Oh, I actually went into increased speed there. So now these guys are caught in square, and now the Fusiliers plus the foot guard, which are sent over, are going to be able to shoot into that square, which is going to be devastating. It's trying to form line, but that of course opens up for the cavalry. This unit is basically lost at this point. They do not have any chance. My cuirassiers are now stuck in with all of his cavalry. They're not doing very well. There's 20 of them left. I think I gave these ones a chevron, so they gave him the chevron now, so he's gonna hold pretty well. But soon the fire of my units is gonna go down. Also, he tries to plug the gap here. I'm not entirely sure why he tried to hold this area, because it's lost, and I've been able to inflict so much damage here. And to plug it with the National Guard here, what has turned out to become his new sort of most furthest flank. Since they can't form square, they're pretty useless. And so I send in the cavalry to sort of catch these people before they are able to actually move off the hill. And the National Guard are caught there, and I believe they're gonna rout the cavalry. He's actually turning his cavalry back. It's been a while since I actually played this. I can't remember everything. But they break pretty easily, and they've been shot and so on. And he's charging in his chasseur à cheval. I'm guessing he's trying to cover these guys' retreat, but instead they're going to be shot down, and then they're charging against a heavy unit, the cuirassiers. At the same time, the fight across here has not gone very well for him. He's lost quite a few troops, and so he tries to move up something here. He's always sort of threatened here, but he hasn't actually done anything with it. And so now I've moved over an extra unit of Prussian Fusiliers just to cover here. But it doesn't seem as though it's going to be a push here. and I still got these extra units which I can push over on the right. On this side again, sort of moved up these Fusiliers too early, as they're caught in this this fight here, which wasn't very clever. And the foot guards, but they're not these guys. They're not really a threat in the same way they were, and they didn't get a proper charge in. So yeah, they're not gonna do any greater damage there. So he's reorganizing his lines, but there's still an open gap here which I can move through, which might have been better for him either to completely give up this area and fall back towards here, or if he would have taken advantage of there's a slight hill and a forest here which you could sit on and fire. He's moved in his old guard here. Old guard is the best unit within the game, so you don't go into battle against these, take any sort of movements against these lightly. But with the amount of Prussian Fusiliers and troops I have here, there's not a lot that gonna stop me. So I'm gearing up for another push here to sort of break through on this side. At the same time, we've started fighting on this side a bit again. He has moved up a bit, but he is actually not going to attack. At this point, he actually has more troops than I have here. He might not be able to actually see this one. Yeah, they are hidden. So this is one he sees. But instead of actually pushing up and pushing through and maybe threatening my flank, he's sitting there, and I am able to run these two extra. I'm actually walking them over. These two elite units to cover there, and that will bring this sort of battle into my favor. I think I'm about to do a cavalry charge here. What I'm going to do is I've spotted an opening. These lancers will move through here, and there's an opening, so they can move through here, they can move around, they can come from behind, and we've got a National Guard unit, can't form square, so I can attack them from behind without them being able to fire upon me. And then these might form square, but these guys in the way, so their fire will be very infected. I think I'm starting moving there. And then after that, I'll be able to go into the Volunteers, which are unprotected. And I think I probably pushed this one in as well from the front, as these guys get engaged from behind. I actually moved these guys to cover, but I'm able to move in before he's able to shoot that much. And because of the way they were lined up with one single line here, the Lancer push was able to push straight through. You can even see the flag guy flying away there. I'm not no intention of staying fighting this, because Lancers are of course a shock unit. You want to get in there, get that sort of hit going, and then continue on. Prussian Lancers aren't actually that good, and so you could see they went to red there, so they might have broken if there were any support units firing on them. And so they continue on that road. We've actually started some fighting over here, and I'm starting now to move over, trying to take this hill and to move around. We've got a National Guard unit there. Probably gonna send in cavalry here, I think. I still have that. I moved that off. They might actually have already charged in, not sure what's there. Anyways, let's go back over here. So now I've gone into the National Guard, which of course is a terrible unit. I guess it's one of possibly the better militia units you can use, but it's not a great unit. He forms square over there, but as I said, they won't be able to put down much fire. And at the same time, I'm pushing up these guys, these Lancers, to take out the Volunteers. and so I'm be able to push both of these around, and I've just smashed all of these units. And we're also starting to move over here now against these two, and they're not going to be able to really withstand that. Still hesitant of moving on the old guards. Firing a bit with the Fusiliers, but the fact that he's at this point he could possibly have pushed through with the old guard, seeing as though I've moved so many troops over here, and a lot of my cavalry, or the cavalry I have left, is stuck in over here, totally breaking this side. So he could possibly have moved these guys up against Fusiliers and the Musketeers and the Fusiliers. Still a hard attack though, but it's better than the one that he sort of desperately makes at the end of this. Ah yes, the cuirassiers. I guess I moved them around without actually looking. And once again he sort of pushed his National Guard and put them in the flank. They cannot form square, and that's not a great move, and they're very vulnerable to cavalry, and they're not really a unit you should place to try to protect your flank. Once again, attack. Since I have cavalry left, I'm able to attack his flanks. He's forced to form square, and in square you're a very easy target. So we're standing here firing on each other. This unit, I'm not sure what it's doing, it's just standing here. It's a miss in the micromanagement. So oh yeah, here I do one of my misses. I send the general over to sort of help this side, hoping to sort of help here against the old guard, because it's old guard, you need everything you can against them. And so I click to send him over there. Rather than sort of going around this side, he decides to go this side, and so he comes under the fire of the young guard. I'm able to move him though last second, but the unit was almost killed, and if the general would have died, who knows what would have happened. Pushing up here with the guard units now. These Fusiliers are just trying to get back to France, I guess. This unit's not going to be standing very long. This one's in trouble now because his flank is turned. One unit comes back here, but it's National Guard. They're not going to do anything. Sounds like a charge, a desperate move here to try to stop my guys from coming into the flank there and taking this high ground behind the old guard. The old guard now actually charging in, and since they're old guard, they're gonna be there's gonna be quite a bit of fighting there. Another desperate charge over there, not gonna lead to anything, but it's able to gonna do inflict quite a few casualties over here, and that's why I wanted the general over here to support. Same time we're pushing through here, and I mean at this point he's done for. There's not a lot of stuff he can do. Still has his general though, all the way back here. Not sure if they're actually going to be able to charge this unit, or if I missed them. I usually wait until the very last moment to form square. It's not that great because the unit actually managed to engage it before it forms square, and that's going to lead to casualties. But usually why I do that is I want to catch the cavalry unit onto the square, because even unless it's like a super elite heavy cavalry, it's not going to break the square in most cases. And now the old guard is broken. The battle is over. And I believe the general is about to rout.
Glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
As stated before, there's still some units running around. We still have this one running about, but the Fusilier is going to be able to send this one off. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but there's only one Fusilier ready to actually fire upon them when they're there, and he fires one shot over their heads and they run away. So it's not a good unit to do anything with, really. General still engaged here, hoping to kill off some musketeers. Not sure if the general's still alive. Ah, yes, we saw the message. I clicked off the message without realizing how actually the guy actually died. I'm surprised though that there's still 2 units holding here. We got 2 young guards in quite depleted state, about 100 of them, and the Fusilier of the line has come back over here. But at this point you can see the strength meter down here. Even if I made the absolute most terrible move I could ever make, it's not gonna do anything. And the entire general unit was shot down. I believe it's actually gonna end with them routing before actually a lot of shots are fired. Pushing up the foot guards, 1 unit of foot guard to stand against these 2. At the same time, I'm moving another foot guard up here, but he decides to go for a charge on the Fusiliers again, draw them off, and make ready to fire upon the Fusiliers as they approach. And it's not going to go very well for them. And this time they are loaded. A full volley. And now he decides that it might be better to stand and shoot. But as I said, there's not a lot he can do at this point. And they're routed before they are able to fire. And now it's only these guys left. I believe I inspired this unit, and now I'm moving it forward. Foot guards ready to engage the 2 units of young guards still alive. The enemy fires, take out quite a few, and then we fire our return. Great holes turn up in the French line, and they're gone. And so there we have it. And here we got the actual score. So we deployed exactly the same amount of troops, 2,144 for both. I lose 1,108 men. There's always this sort of friendly fire, and it goes around to about 100 men for each of us. Unit statistics, so we can quite clearly see that the Prussian Fusiliers did a lot of work for my side. Also one of the foot guard units. On the lower end we got a Lancer unit, foot guard. But these foot guards weren't really pressed into battle until the very end. We got 1 Fusilier here did very badly. I'm not exactly sure which one of it was, but I'm looking here at the casualty rates. I think it was the one that was closest to the center, so it's one of the one that were over here. Yeah, you can see a lot of dead guys over here. So there was a lot of concentrated by the French fire on this area, so they weren't able to shoot as many just because they lost so many men in that. Or it might have actually been, you know, I sent 2 over here, so it might have been this one that was actually routed early on, or this one. Can't remember which one. I think this one was routed. So it was actually rising my thinking there. It's probably this one that was successfully charged and sent off the field. But yeah, not always the effect of a unit's effectiveness in battle might always come down to the fact that they killed a lot of troops. Just as much as if a lancer is locking a unit, or if just a unit is standing in the way of an enemy moving up, or stuff like that, can also mean for the effectiveness of the units. But in large part, it is the Fusiliers that shoot down the French. We see quite a lot of casualties here. A lot of French got shot here, but also a lot of Prussians fell to the Old Guard's charge. Can't actually see his result, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this battle, and I will be seeing you for the next one. Bye!